Need advice? Taco Bob to the rescue. Time for Ask Taco Bob.
On 101.1 WJRR.
Ask Taco Bob is brought to you Petty's Meats, State Road 434 in Longwood, just west of I-4. Hit up Petty's anytime you want top shelf when it comes to good eats for the weekend, or for any night of the week for that matter.
High quality meats and tasty eats. That's Petty's. And when you walk into Petty's in Longwood, you pour yourself a nice cold draft beer and do some shopping. And if you want, you grab the sandwich of the week. It's always delicious.
LC, glad to see you. Welcome. I actually called over to Petty's looking for you last Wednesday when you were a no-show, no-call, no-show, which, in the business world is that's not very professional.
Well, it's been a really busy week if you haven't thought about it. I mean, having to counsel the royal family after their loss.
Well, a courtesy call would have been nice. And the odds, this was even the more bizarre. That guy I work with, he was out last Wednesday, too. Both of you gone through all of us for a week.
Everybody just left you alone?
Yeah.
Were you all right?
Oh, it's fine.
Were you scared?
Was not scared.
Okay. No, I had to help the royal family. They have to prepare for the big funeral and stuff. I had to take a Learjet in last night, or actually the day before. I'm all baffled with time changes and all that from flying from over there for the funeral and everything. But no, I was counseling after their loss. I've done some counseling for them before. That perverted one.
Andrew
had to give him shock therapy from his trips to Epstein's Island. Actually, I knew, the sicko backgrounds. I hooked him straight up to a car battery. He seemed to like it, though. So, shock me again. All right. Rev it up, TC. At the time, TC was still with us.
All right. Well, anyway, glad you're back.
Yeah. So, it's good to be back. LC, I've noticed myself getting more and more superstitious over the years. And now it's to the point where I think I need some help. Any suggestions? Yeah, this is a superstition can really get you. You have to be careful with it. Instead of throwing salt over your shoulder, you could eat it, and then you'll have high blood pressure. And then you could worry about the high blood pressure instead of the superstitions. Sound good?
Displacement is what you're...
Totally. It's always good to displace. I mean, if you lose somebody close to you, you drink. If you displace that, if you lose a pet, you go start duking in the sandbox to be one with nature. So yeah, go on the start eating the salt instead of throwing it over your shoulder, or you could just go out to the garage and use a bandsaw to cut your hands off, and then and you can't knock on wood anymore. It'd be much easier just to let go of the superstitions. Coach. Not even life coach, just coach. Coach, just met my soon-to-be mother-in-law, and she is way hotter than my future wife. She's single and a redhead, in quotes, love them. Do I go for the dunk or settle for the layup? What do I do? Come on, dude, that's your fiance you're calling a layup now. What?
Well, don't they say look to the mother-in-law for a future glimpse of what your...
The daughter's always going to look like the mother-in-law.
So in this case, patience, right?
Unless the daughter has superstitions and eats a bunch of salt and then gets, But I say instead of going for the dunk or the layup, you go for the triple-double. The three of you's the triple, and the two of them's the double. You do the math. Kobe it. Wait, not like the...
Oh, God.
No, I mean, he threw a lot of triple-doubles in his time. R.I.P., Black Mamba. Question for LC. I want to start jogging with a weighted vest to get in shape. But a friend of mine said people might mistake it for body armor and start to panic. Do you think this would really happen? Yeah, you may want to skip that. Skip the body armor. There's other angles. You'll see people like on the sides of the roads with the hiking backpacks.
The new tactical jogging gear.
Yeah, stay away from the body armor, the weighted vest or whatever you called it. Just, you see the people that are practicing for hiking in Europe or whatever, they're mainly just throwing out a fashion statement. Like, look at me, I'm going to Europe, I'm going overseas, I get to travel, you don't.
Nice lederhosen.
Yeah, and then they're walking with those little, the canes that they had to buy, and now some poor blind person doesn't have a cane because there's some fool walking on the side of 436 with a hiking bag. What you do is get one of them hiking bags. Yeah, you may look foolish, but you're going to shed off pounds because we're going to put some weight in there. You would think, put rocks in there, for good weight. No, because rocks are going to injure your lower torso and your back and such. So what you do is you just find a small, chubby midget and stick,
little person.
Pay that individual right back in there, and you put them in the back of your bag, and it's kind of like one of those baby carriers, like, the papoose, the ones that the moms and the gay dads wear. You know what I'm talking about, baby holder. And they can put them on the front, too, where the arms hang out and the legs hang out. It's like, I got a baby hanging out. If you're going hiking in Europe, have fun.
They can encourage you, too, just, back there. Keep going. Come on, you can do it.
You got this. You got this, man. To all-knowing LC, I know you frequent Petty's, but our Melbourne store is closing. Is there anything you can do to keep it open for us over here on the East Coast? Okay, for the record, the East Coast Petty's that you speak of over Melbourne, that is not affiliated with the Longwood one, right? The Longwood one?
Not to my knowledge.
No, it's a totally different store. I'm sorry you're losing that, Petty's, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and the end of the tunnel is right here on 434 in Longwood.
Just west of I-4.
And the light's getting even brighter for you because LC sees a little business opportunity. Might have to start chartering some chopper rides over to Longwood for Melbourne for people that need the Petty's fix.
Wow, flying. A meat fly-in.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm flying them into the meat.
Right, yeah.
I would fly... It's in the beginning stages. Life coach, like most Floridians, I drink Zephyr Hills natural spring water. Aren't there fish in the springs? We've all seen what a goldfish can do to a bowl. Should I go filtered water from now on? You overthink things. Listen, I don't think you have to worry about the fish that much. I mean, you got manatees in the springs, too.
Line going right from the spring into those bottles. Just nothing in between.
Yeah.
No.
There's filters all there. Otherwise, you'd have the manatees that live in the springs also, and you'd be drinking recycled lettuce water. Like lettuce wraps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got you.
So, you're fine. Stick with your Zephyr Hills, okay? LC, are you hiring? I'm a man of many skills. I'm sorry, Brandon's been working out pretty well. Since TC passed, I've had Brandon. He's doing well, so I'm good there. I could use a masseuse. He said, you have many skills. Only problem is you're a dude, so finishing move's going to be a little bit awkward and uncomfortable for both of us, so scratch that. Bad choice of words. You have many skills. Why don't you just write up you have the skill to write up a resume. Do that. Shaq can't do it. Hey, LC. How are we doing on time?
You can get time for a couple more.
You're getting me flustered.
What did I do?
Nothing.
Sitting here taking it all in.
LC, I was having sex with my wife, but anyway, which was great. But anyway, the dog came in the room and started licking my feet. Does that count as a threesome? Only if you had, something to entice them, like peanut butter between your toes. And if that's the case, I'm sending your IP address to authorities. Because you're a sick man. That's illegal in the lower U.S., much less the higher. LCTB, are you in a fantasy football league? Are you in any fantasy football leagues? Not so much football. I have a different kind of fantasy league with other counselors and therapists that I know. We play certain patients against each other each week, according to how many episodes and outbursts they have. It's called Fantasy Fruitcake. So I'm currently in second place. But don't worry, this week's lineup's looking good. I should shoot to first. And one of the main rules is we're not allowed to switch up the meds or tweak the meds to work in your favor.
I honestly, I didn't know you were going to go there. I thought you were going to respond to like you were in something fancy schmancy fantasy polo league or something, or cricket.
Oh, I have those too. I do a lot of fantasy. I do LARPing. I don't even know what it is, but role play. All right, hey, time is here. Let's go, Brandon. We gotta fly.